Okay, moving on to look at the adaptive features. Okay, we will be looking at the adaptive features of the hydrophytes, halophytes, and also the xerophytes, but not the mesophytes because we have been discussing about mesophytes all the while from chapter 1 to chapter 6. Okay, so now this is a picture of the swampy area. So what's the challenges of those plants living in the swampy area is that the soil there are with low content of oxygen. So if that's so, how are the mangrove trees ataupun pokok bakau ini boleh tinggal di sini? Okay, now these are the adaptive features of the halophytes, which we will first look at the leaves. Okay, organ daun dulu kita lihat. Okay, remember halophytes, mereka adalah tumbuhan yang tinggal di habitat with high concentration of salt. Remember halo? Halo is related to salt. Dan juga another challenge is that the oxygen content of the soil is very low. So mangrove trees, these are the example of halophytes. Mangrove trees here, they have specific adaptive features which enables them to survive in this harsh environment. Okay, and not only that, not only these two challenges, ataupun the harsh environment. Okay, another one is that this is number 3. It has got this high intensity of light. Okay, di kawasan in the river mouth. Okay, yang terdedah dengan cahaya matahari. Keamatan cahaya yang tinggi. So the leaves, daunnya, has got thick cuticle. Okay, I wonder if you still remember apa itu cuticle. Kalau sudah lupa, boleh tengok balik. Okay, the cuticle is thick. And then the stoma is sunken. Remember the stoma? That is the tiny pore. Okay, as you can see here, this is the cuticle, and then followed by the layer of epidermis, and the stomata is here. Macam dia masuk dalam sikit. Dia tidak berada sebaris dengan cuticle dengan epidermis itu. Okay, dia punya sel pengawal. We know that the gut cell is actually an example of modified epidermal cell, right? But it appears to be embedded, masuk sikit. Jadi we call it as sunken stoma. Stoma itu seolah-olah tenggelam, masuk dalam sikit. So what's the significance of that is that it can reduce the rate of transpiration because we know that this pore is also the place for water vapor to diffuse out from the leaves to the environment, apart from it's meant for the gases to go in and out lah. Okay, so if the stoma is not exposed, I mean it is sunken a bit, tenggelam sikit, jadi ini boleh mengurangkan kadar transpirasi. Another term that you need to mention is that succulent leaves. So what is the meaning of succulent? Meaning juicy ataupun fleshy leaves or stems. So now we're talking about the leaves. The leaves are very succulent. That means they are adapted to store water. Okay. Next is that there is this structure known as the hydathoid. Okay. Ada lubang-lubang yang kita panggil sebagai hydathoid pada daunnya yang boleh menjadi tempat garam dibuang. Excess salt, garam berlebihan. So you can see here, yang putih-putih ini, these are the salts. Okay. Jadi dia keluar daripada daun melalui the special structure known as the hydathoid. Supaya tumbuhan pokok bakau ini tidak terlampau banyak garam. Okay, meanwhile, the old leaves can store salt and fall off when the concentration of the stored salt is too high. Okay, daun-daun yang sudah tua itu kalau dia terlampau banyak kandungan garam, dia sendiri akan gugur. Another means of for the excess salt to be eliminated from the mangrove tree. Okay. Another picture yang ni lebih besar sikit. Jadi dia punya stoma ni adalah jenis yang tenggelam masuk dalam, dia bukan berada di luar. Jadi di sembunyi sikit. Okay, so lenticels. Alright, later I will explain on the lenticels. Okay, yang ini the hydatodes just now. The succulent leaves which is able ataupun adapted to store water. Okay, and ini pneumatophore. Okay. Wait, I'll get back to the picture later on. Okay, let's continue to look at the roots first. Just now we described about the leaves. Now in terms of roots. So, mangrove. Okay. Ini cikgu sudah explain tadi on the challenges. Okay. 3 challenges. So, how are the roots adapting to this environment? Okay, first, you have to mention that the roots have this branching system. Okay, so branches widely. Kamu tengok dia punya akar dekat sini. Branched out widely, exist in various shapes and also sizes, provides support to continue living in the soil which is muddy. Because dia ini adalah swampy area kan, jadi kalau kawasan paya, that means the soil are very soft and muddy, might not be able to support the plants. Okay, jadi itu sebabnya dia punya akar itu menjangkang ataupun dia punya base kamu lihat sendiri adalah luas. Okay, another thing is that it's important lah because to prevent it from being uprooted, maksudnya tercabut sekiranya ada angin yang kuat. Because ini dia terletak di muar paya tu kan. Tempat pertembungan fresh water and also sea water. So, memang akan selalu ada kehadiran angin. Okay, moving on is that the root system have hundreds of breeding roots. Sangat special. Just now already show the picture. Breeding roots ataupun akar yang boleh bernafas. So, how is that possible? You see the breeding roots grow vertically upwards above the surface of the soil. So this is the soil. Okay, maksudnya di bawah, this is the root. Di bawah tanah, and then you see ada something coming out, bulge out above the soil. Okay, ini soil kan? Okay, so seolah-olah dia ambil nafas daripada atas. So you call it as the breeding roots. How to describe? These are the roots that grows vertically upwards, menegak ke atas, dia tumbuh begini. Okay, atas apa? Atas permukaan tanah, above the surface of the soil. And what do you call it? That's the pneumatophores. Okay, so there are many pores on these roots. Dekat akar-akar ini ada banyak lubang-lubang kecil, pores, which you call it as the lenticels. Macam stoma pun lubang-lubang kecil kan. So we have another terms called the lenticel. This is also the place that enables the exchange of gases with the atmosphere. So I have a bigger picture just now. Here, banyak lubang-lubang ini. Okay, so it's like a pore for the exchange of gases. Okay, lagi satu tadi adalah this is pneumatophore. Ini. Tajam-tajam ni bukan duri tetapi it is the breeding roots. Okay. Prop roots kita panggil akar jangkang. Prop roots stabilize the mangrove tree and also supporting it, preventing it from being uprooted because of the strong wind. Okay. Now, the fourth point is that mention about the cell sap. Okay, yang ada dalam word call the mangrove roots. These cell sap of the mangrove roots ini, they have high salt content. In fact, it is even higher than seawater. Imagine kalau seawater dia memang sudah sangat masin. But then masin tu air laut masin lagi, the cell sap which is in the roots of this mangrove tree. So, masih ingat osmosis punya konsep di mana ada kepekatan air yang tinggi, high water potential, water will diffuse from that area into an area of lower water potential kan. So, if inside has got higher salt content as compared to outer, that means water potential mana lagi tinggi. Di dalamnya sangat masin, banyak-banyak garam kan. So that means outside has got higher water potential. Sebab itulah the cell sap of the roots will not lose water to the surrounding environment by osmosis. Instead, what will happen is that the mangrove trees will receive water and also mineral salts from the seawater, okay, entering into the roots secara osmosis. Okay, inilah dia punya adaptasi yang peranan yang dimainkan oleh akar pokok bakau ini. Okay, so Avicennia species ini adalah pokok-pokok bakau, spesies-spesies. Ada beberapa jenis spesies. Shown here is the Avicennia species. Jadi boleh nampak dia punya breeding roots, a lot of breeding roots. Okay, pneumatophore, dia punya definisi di sini long underground cable roots. Alright.